I wanted to share this one. Unfortunately, the guy who was here yesterday, he's not here today, but the guy who created this. But just like Mary was saying that someone in her company has a report that's basically his Bible. This is this guy's Bible, and he has this report emailed to him nightly, and it's called the 3-month supply alert. So it's one row per product, and it's products where there's a concern that there's not enough stock on hand to meet at least 3 months worth of supply. So the way, in his case, he calculates 3-month supplies, he looks at all sales in the last 30 days for each item and multiplies it by 3. And that's his 3-month supply. So any product where the total quantity on hand plus the total quantity in transit plus the total quantity on PO does not meet that 3-month supply level, it shows up in this, and then that's his, and he triggers in his mind, okay, I need to order more of this product. Or you may know, okay, this product's being phased out, so I'm not going to worry about it. So in fact, there's a little on-off switch at the product level where you can just say remove from 3-month supply alert, and then it no longer shows up in that nightly email. So actually, Jose, you guys have a few of these set up as well. I think you have one where the salespeople, because, okay, so we're talking about scheduled reports, but the other type of email that can be triggered is based on something that happens within the system. So like Jose, in your case, some of the ones you have set up are all system-based triggers that start an email. So one of them which I wrote down was anytime there's a change in a sales order or a purchase order, the sales rep immediately gets an email that indicates what that change is, right? And then there's a link actually in the email itself that they can link back into the email, link back into the system and look at that order and see what has been changed. Okay, another one is an approval alert, which I also think you guys did, where anytime a purchase order or a sales order is created that requires approval, management will get an email notification that says there's been a new sales order created or a new purchase order created that requires your approval, and then in the body of the email is essentially text that explains the products that are being ordered, the quantity, the prices, and total, and then there's an issue button that links back into the system and allows them to issue the order. So even if you're traveling or something and orders are going in, you can still you can still approve orders. I think, hey Tom, do you guys also receive an email, something to do with credit?
We do. If it's over the client's credit limit, then the email comes through. They can't really process a sales order until someone approves it, goes in and says, you know, look at are they credit worthy, and then they go all over. And then we can put it in a code. They can go ahead and enter.
Is there a link in that email that links you back into the system somehow?
There is not a link in the email. We just have to go back into the system.
But it's the idea to give management, hey, there's a potential problem here.
Right.
We need to follow up on it.
Yes.
There's one more, I think, I'm not sure you mentioned, it's along the same lines as some of the stuff that Jose is doing. That when a container is received for another customer of ours, the purchase, the trader that bought the goods is notified, and also the trader that is going to sell the goods is notified that, you know, that the goods were received in VISCO. They can let their customer know it's going to be a matter of several days or whatever else, based on that auto email notification.
Another one, another example is a low margin alert. So this can be triggered either on the sales order assign click or on the ship and invoice click. If the order itself is below a certain profit margin, then management or whoever you choose can receive an email that is a summary of the order and the profitability of that order, and they can choose whether or not they want to act on that or hold it, or really do whatever they want with it at that point, but at least it's putting it in their face. Most of us have our email all the time. There's an incoming shipment alert, which is, this is actually, I think this is one of the scheduled ones, but this is for logistics people. So they'll get an alert that says, these are all containers that are due to arrive in the next 7 days, in in which you have not sent the paperwork over to customs, for example. And we can tell that by checking the email log and see whether or not the documentation has been emailed out of the system. And of course, we're checking that against the ETA of each container and saying whether or not that, you know, in other words, these are containers that you should be, require your attention, you should follow the program. Okay, here's another good one too, which is deliveries alert. So any deliveries that should be going out that day. So it can be another example, one of these scheduled ones, somebody on the shipping side will get an email of any orders that have not yet shipped out to the customer, but based on the estimated delivery dates, it should be shipping out today. So that would be a list of all the things you should be shipping out that day. And the other one we kind of talked about yesterday, which is when inquiries have been assigned to you, which was, I think you guys use this one as well. Anytime an inquiry gets assigned to a particular trigger, they get an email that says, this user assigned an inquiry to you. Here's a basic explanation as to what that inquiry is, and then they can link back into the system if they want to follow up on it and complete it. Any other? Because I know I think you have more that I'm not mentioning. Do you have any others that you can think of? That?
Yeah. Well, that one is it's pretty big because on the inquiry section we have, for example, one person requesting the logistics department to find a rate.
Okay.
For example, finding a rate from this place to this place, and then that triggers the alert to the logistics department saying, hey, you have this, you have to respond to this. So the logistics person then answers to that inquiry, and then the person who originally created it gets another alert saying, this is completed.
That's right. That's right.
And about logistics, you know, any containers that are arriving within 7 to 10 days, then it'll alert you which ones are arriving, so that they can follow up on it. There's a whole bunch of things you can do.
Yeah.
Is that based on the ETA that you put in the system?
Yeah. Yeah. So as I said, I think in terms of the ability to get these things quickly and cheaply and easily, it's a way to get a lot more value out of the system, and also a way to get other users or other people in the company involved with the data without actually having them log into the system. So if you have people who don't necessarily have user IDs and passwords, but you want them to get the data, salespeople are a great example. They're usually on their email. You can just shoot them emails, and they don't necessarily have to be logged into the system and checking this information on a regular basis.